What to choose? Where to start? You tell me. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Raids, and as always guys, I'm Andrew. Today I got another video for you, but before we get to that video, make sure you're liking and subscribing, and hitting that bell notification so you can get regular updates for when I put out new content. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that said guys, today, if you saw the title, basically this is my first Stephen King-ish video on the channel. I've got a long, weird history with Stephen King. Specifically, like, I was into him when I was younger, and then, like, I kind of fell out of it, and then my teenage years hit, and I was, like, into him again, and then I kind of fell out of it. Back in high school, I read a lot of The Dark Tower, and just, I've read a fair bit of King, but I couldn't begin to tell you, like, what specifically happens in any given King novel, just because it's been so long. The only one that I really remember at all is going to be The Shining by Stephen King. And so we're not going to really talk about this one because I still remember this one pretty well because I freaking loved this book. But that said, I do have some Stephen King here. And the whole purpose of this video is I'm just kind of flummoxed. I don't really know where to start. And so I would love some feedback, maybe, you know, a vote in the comment section down below on where I should prioritize King. Because even though I'm going to read this King book outside of spooky season, it's still very much, King is very much an author that consistently, just at different points in my life, just grabs my attention. And for that reason, like, I've been picking up more and more of his books based on recommendations from Mike's Book Reviews, from Maza Booktuber. Of course, Jake, the Bookish Drummer, is also always talking about Stephen King. And so, like, you know, I've said on the channel before, I've got really bad FOMO. And so a lot of the times I'm like, man, am I missing out? Should I give King another go? And lately, ever since I started reading Daniel Barnett's Nightmareland Chronicles, and I've started becoming really good friends with Leslie from the Nerdy Narrative, my interest in horror has just gone through the roof. And so, you know, not all of this is horror. Of course, some of this is, you know, Stephen King writes pretty much frickin' everything. He writes horror, he writes criminal thrillers, he likes hard case, he writes fantasy even, with The Dark Tower. And so the 5 books that I have here are kind of the ones that I already have in my collection, and I really kind of want to know where you think I should start. And so starting off, you know, we've got a relatively new release, and that's Later. Basically, this is one of the hard case novels, of course. I don't know a whole lot about the hard case novels, other than they're just not horror. But because I've got 2 of them here, I did watch the TV show based off of The Colorado Kid, and it was still pretty weird. I loved it, but it was pretty weird. And so, like, I want to know, you know, of these 2, which do you prefer? And of course, we've got 3 other books to talk about, because I've never read a hard case by Stephen King. I know there's a 3rd one called Joyland, and don't worry, that one will end up in my collection as well, but I ran across these 2 at a used bookstore, my local half-price books, and I just had to pick them up for, I think they were like $3 a piece. And so, you know, I've got The Colorado Kid, and I've got Later, which are still pretty decently short reads. And if this book is anything as weird as Haven was, I think I'll love it. I really do. So those are the first 2 options for contention, as The Colorado Kid and Stephen King. Or, not Stephen King, Later by Stephen King. Bleh. These are all Stephen King books. I don't know why I said Later, by Stephen King. Now, this is one, I think I picked this up when I was like 13. But it's going to be Duma Key. Not only does it have a gorgeous freaking hardcover, like, look at that. Like, the cover and everything that went into this, super awesome. I absolutely love it. What I don't remember is, I remember this is like Florida / like about a painter, or something about the paintings coming to life. So I remember enjoying this one fairly well, but I don't think I finished it. Like, I think I got burned out, like, about halfway through. And so, this is one that I've heard great things about. It's one of his different ones, because I think most of Stephen King's books are set in, like, Massachusetts or something like that. And so this one's a little different because I think it's set in Florida. And for that reason, like, it's always, caught my interest. And it's one I'm definitely interested in revisiting, thus the purchase. And then this one is, of course, the big daddy of them all, of the collection. That's going to be Stephen King's It. I have been wanting to read It since middle school. And I've always chickened out. Like, I've never had it in my collection until now. Like, this is a very recent acquisition. I was able to score this gorgeous UK first edition hardcover. I don't want to talk about how much I paid for it because it's upsetting. But, everybody knows about Pennywise. Everybody knows about the drain and the spider and everything that goes into this. It's a very big coming-of-age story from what I understand. It's also not like your typical horror. Like, it's got those horror... Don't get me wrong, it's definitely horror. But at the same time, like, it's more of a coming-of-age for a bunch of group of characters. And for that reason, like, I think it takes place in 2 different timelines. I've always wanted to read it. I'm very happy to have it in the collection. Because, I mean, it's absolutely stunning. And you can kind of consider this also like a little bit of a Stephen King haul. Because most of these haven't appeared on the channel yet. Well, I think 4 of them have. But this one and the next one, of course, have not appeared on the channel. And so I've always wanted to read it. I remember I was in middle school. And my buddy... we used to have, like, assigned reading time. And he'd always whip out It. And, like, I'm talking, like, we were 6th, 7th grade. And he's just reading It. And it's the same guy who introduced me to The Wheel of Time. And because of that reason, like, if people I know whose, like, opinions and tastes in books kind of mirror mine, love It so much that, like, I feel like I'm missing out on a story that I'm just gonna love. So... let me know in the comments down below if you really think I'm going to enjoy it. And then this one is it's also another one of those just gorgeous covers. Like, it's absolutely stunning. And that's going to be Needful Things by Stephen King. And this one is more of the, like, people who know about Needful Things, it's like a shop where you can get, like, anything, but it's always got, like, a double cost. Like, fiscally, it's, like, a cheap, but then, like, you got to barter like something in your soul, or like the cost comes due later. I've never read Needful Things. I've always wanted to. And it just sounds like such an interesting concept. And I know, like, a lot of the stuff in here can be quite shocking. And for that reason, like, I'm really interested in it. I've heard that, like, if you're not into the multiverse, the end of the story gets a bit funky. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with funky. I really want to not only read these 2, like, I'm heavy pulling for these as contenders, but I will go with what the comment section says and try and fit it in either December or January. But those are all of the 5 books. So let's go through them again. We've got Needful Things. We've got It. We've got Doom a Key. And then we've got Colorado Kid and Later. So in the comment section down below, what I need you all to do is just cast your votes. I mean, let me know. You can either just choose one or do a scale, like, first, second, third choice. Any way you want to do it, let me know which one you think I'm going to enjoy the most. Because frankly, I've been dying to get back to King, and I really can't decide where to start. And so I am looking to you to help me. That said, guys, let me know in the comment section down below what your pick is. And, yeah, if you want to check that description for the link to the Wizardly Duo Discord, we would love to have you jump on in and talk maybe a little bit more Stephen King. We would love to have you there. Or if you want to support the channel on a more regular basis, you can go ahead and in that description, click and support the Patreon. Your support is always appreciated. And that said, guys, that's the end of the video. So, till next time, peace out. Stay magical. Bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons.